Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Evolution Podcast. I'm Brandon Decremer from Evergreen Foundations,
And I'm Christina Joy from Chaos to Clarity Lab.
and today we're on our new home, if you will, for recording. We're going to start moving to Zoom because both of us are on other platforms and both of us have school communities. I'm in a few, so we decided to put this on Zoom so it's easier access for everybody. Today
Totally.
we were, oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's it. I just said
Oh,
totally. That's all. Okay, go ahead.
Today we were supposed to have a guest, Connor Mason, who is a client with mine who's a junior in high school, and he's also a rugby player that got a new match today. So we are going to reschedule. And Christina and I were like, should we scramble around and look for a last minute guest, or should we just like talk like two ADHD preneur squirrels and just go with it? And we both decided to just kind of go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I think it's kind of cool that we have the opportunity right now to do that because usually on calls, unless it was the interview you did of me before I was a host, um, we don't get the opportunity to just be like to like take over. I mean, we could, but it's kind of rude, if we're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
interviewing somebody and they're doing their thing. So,
Especially we're usually we're spotlighting other like members
mhm.
or business owners or community owners
Yeah.
or people doing cool things. So you don't want to just be like, I mean, I'll drop like, holy crap, I relate to that because of, but you don't want to
Yeah,
like take over, right? Yeah.
totally. So this is
Um,
our takeover.
yes, so we get a takeover episode. Dude, I want to start like right away by talking about I seen a post you did. You were sharing your
Whoa, where
bu-
do you go?
I'm there. You're sharing your bus life like online now more, hey?
I am, yeah. So what I've decided to do, I've always kind of kept everything separate. And I'll tell you what, for years, deep down inside, I was like, girl, you need to combine all that. And I haven't done that, and I kept thinking like I need to have this like polished business facade so that I can get hired by clients, right? And so I just kept like everything separate. And what I'm realizing is that like it's just not that doesn't work, like and it's not me. Like this is who I am. And if I can't show up like this at a client consult, then I don't want that client if they're going to judge me about it. And the other part is that I mean, I live in a bus and I haven't really shown this to everybody and it's a
No.
mess kind of right now, but like this I've built this thing myself, right? Here's the back, which is definitely kind of a mess, but whatever. Well, it doesn't look too bad from here.
No,
You don't see my messy corner. I have
no.
that hidden. So anyway, I live in this bus and I still need to build it. I still have like so much to do. And I mean, I can't really separate those lives because what's going to happen is it's Florida. I'm going to go outside and work on my bus. I'm going to sweat my face off. I'm going to be disgusting half the time. I'm going to be covered in who knows what, whatever materials I'm working with and glue and caulk and whatever, paint. Um, and then I'm gonna have to pop in and do something in my school community, or I'm gonna have to do my daily call, or so the reality is these things all just kind of mesh in together. And
Yes.
so that's why I'm just putting bus life out there in my YouTube, and my YouTube channel's brand new, so it's all just gonna happen, together.
That's awesome. What's the YouTube handle?
Yeah.
It's C Joy Consulting.
Nice. So, dude, I challenge you. Do like one where you get like a reel or a short or a video to like where you're like all buttoned up, right? And keep it like strict, kind of like scripted. And then do one where you're like outside on your bus with like a paintbrush in your hand and like who knows what behind you and do the same message. And I bet you the one that you're like doing the thing while you're talking is going to get way more views. And I know that because if I would have tried to be like a buttoned up coach business dude, I would have never got any clients because it's not who I
Yeah.
am. I'm an
Yeah.
ex, like, I was like a low level cage fighter and like had all kinds of sporadic 9 to 5 jobs and like not a business dude or not like even buttoned up at all, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody knows me by now. So being me and like being in reels, doing the things with my kids, with my like life. Like if I was like painting my buddy's house one time and I was doing reels as I was doing that. And I fell off the ladder because of a bee covered in paint. It was like one of my highest viewed converting reels ever. um I like would just go out there and just be me, whatever I was doing. If I was down by the river with my kids, I'd film the reel and have that in the background. If I was outside or working out or at the gym, I would do that. Like I would do reels and videos of content where I was living in
Yeah.
like in that moment. And I think that is the only reason why I'm still doing this, because it connected me with an actual audience. It made me human. It made me like I'm
Mhm.
not polished or buttoned up. I'm loud. My voice is in and out. I'm super energetic, and that's not everybody's cup of tea. But being all of those things funnels out whose cup of tea I am.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think and a lot of times in business, I mean, I was a paralegal for 13 years, and I can tell you, like, of course I wore the suit and I had the heels and I had, the whole nine. Um and I had that kind of facade going on, but behind the doors at any law firm, you're still exactly who you are, and you're still like razzing people and like pulling pranks in the office and being who you are, at least with the attorneys I worked for, and then we'd like get all serious when like clients were there. But what was funny, like I remember there was this one time, I'm gonna squirrel. But there was this one time I'm sitting in a client meeting and we always said that's what she said in one of the offices I was at, right? And so I'm sitting in a client meeting with the attorney, like he's meeting with the person. It's a personal injury case, and that was my specialty. I actually taught that attorney how to do personal injury, um, which was interesting because I came from another firm that I was their main PI paralegal. But anyway, so I always sat in on those meetings with him so that if I had questions, since I'd be working the case, I could. Point is this. So the client's like talking about something and we sit next to each other and he's writing his notes, and I'll glance over at his notes. And sometimes he'll write something in his notes that's for me and he'll kind of like tap my foot with his foot. And so client says something and I caught it. And I kept a straight face, like a good one that I could drop a that's what she said. And I didn't do it. And he taps my foot and I look over and all he wrote big was TWSS. And I'm like, and I'm trying so hard to like not laugh that it ended up being this other weird thing that happened to my face. And I just totally like lost it right there in front of the client.
Dude, that's hilarious because
Yeah.
Allie and I will like we'll be somewhere and we'll hear something or something said and we like have this look that is like that's what she said look. Like we're
Yeah.
both thinking it, we both want to say it, we probably can't, but we'll like
Yeah.
look at each other like, oh, there's
You
the
just
moment,
know.
there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was funny. And he never let me live that one down. He's like, I got you so good that time. Because we usually like would try to get each other and we were both pretty good at staying composed. But honestly, I don't want to be composed anymore. Like I get if I'm in some situation that I'm at a funeral or something, like there are places to be respectful about what's going on around you. But like otherwise, if I can't drop a that's what she said to one of my clients, I'm kind of like, man, this isn't fun. Like,
I hear you. And I have so much fun on calls and like make jokes and like I wouldn't be able to just be serious and get results. I have to
yeah,
be me and be that like kind of it's take down the room a little bit just with my humor, with my goofiness. Sometimes say that off the wall thing that kind of gets somebody to laugh, and then um take down the tone of the room really so you can just come in unassuming and you usually make good decisions when you're not all rigid and stuff. So I wouldn't be
yeah,
able to just like, oh yeah, this is what we have to do and go structured and stuff. I have to kind of come flying and like, oh my god, here's this idea and we should try this and let's talk about that. And like that's just how I coach. Like I'm
yeah,
all over the place. Soon as somebody says something that I can grab onto, I might interrupt. And like it's just if somebody was like, oh my god, I can't handle this, we would not get results together.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, when you say that, like someone asked me, and I don't remember where it was. It could have been on here. I don't think it was. I think it was somewhere else. They asked me, what what is your favorite client? Like, when do you know, like, whenever you're meeting with somebody, what is your favorite client situation? And I was like, my favorite one is when I'm like on a call with somebody and we're just vibing and it's like I know deep inside, like my head, my heart, and all of it, that we could take over the whole fucking world. You know, like we could do this whole world if we wanted to because it's just vibing like that. And if you can't just be real,
Yeah.
you're not going to ever get that with people.
I am going to plug the Skool platform here a little bit with this. I do like this aspect of, I know a lot of community owners and there's a lot of like live calls, and that part is fun for like the random live calls where you never know who you're going to meet. You never know
Yeah.
who's going to pop on. Like that's how we met. And
Yeah.
Evelyn, who's shout out, is on this call from the
Uh-huh.
schoolyard in Jack
Yeah.
Robinson. Like what the first call, I think it was like 30 seconds into you and I talking. We just kind of were like, oh, dude, we need to collaborate or something. we could
Yeah.
like we
Like
could do a
we
lot of
get each
stuff.
other.
Yeah, I think we talked for like 25 minutes, and it was awesome. And it
Yeah.
was that same vibe where some people you could just like network and collaborate with so easily, and just that's what life. And right now, let's face it, life is scary. People are hurting. There's a lot of shit going on, uh,
Yeah.
and you need those like connections that you could just be yourself. So why are you
Yeah.
going to want to show up unauthentically, like just trying to show up for what you think people want?
Yeah, just live your life. I mean, right now I am literally pouring water into an
Just
ice
gonna
cube
point this
tray
out.
as I'm like co-hosting a podcast and trying to see through the handle. I mean, the reality is that like, we're just living our lives over here, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I just did the wrong thing too.
I've been called out for it. Like I sometimes like for meetings and stuff. You know how it is being an ADHD-preneur. I cannot sit down and sit still for as long as I have to sit down and sit still.
It's tough.
Um, so I will like on calls, like I'm back and forth, I'm up and down. I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'm putting my dog out, but I can hear you. like it's just like who I am. There's been times on podcast episodes like I'll just get up or turn my camera off quick and I gotta like go get a drink, and like it's just kind of how my style is, and I think it resonates with some. And then there's going to be some people that obviously it does not.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, like so I've because of so much of my life I didn't realize I had ADHD. And so much of my life if I would start to have a moment, I had to figure out how to mask all of that because I just thought I was a weirdo, you know? And
Yeah.
I didn't understand why I was doing these things. I'm like, man, this thing is wrong with me. I got to fix it. And so I just like lived in a mask for so long. And the reality is that it did help me to be able to like concentrate because I had to really teach myself how to sit down and listen and how to sit down and like calm down, and so I have spent an incredible amount of time meditating and making it a practice. I'm also not, I mean, I don't have kids in my house. I don't have anyone, there's no one else here but me and my cats. And so I feel like I have it a little easier because I'm not automatically like in 20 places at one time. And so I think in that way I am kind of fortunate that I can just calm the F down sometimes. And be able to tame it a little bit easier because I don't have any distractions in my space other than my own stuff, you know?
I totally get that. And I do because I feel as I entered my 40s this year and I got a little more wiser, took taking better care of myself, understanding that I was ADHD on the spectrum. Who knows? Like I have a daughter on the spectrum, and sometimes I'm going, we're exactly alike. like you know what I mean? So like exactly
Mhm.
like our reactions, and a lot of that might be learned behavior too. So
Yeah.
I'm like in this phase of being unapologetically me,
Yeah.
understanding myself more, and
Yeah.
being able to do the things like acceptance, slow down, meditation, breath work. Like there's times it doesn't matter how good my day is. 5:30, 6 o'clock, family's just about to come home and stuff. My nervous system is like So I have to like go outside, take big deep breaths, even meditate and like ground into my feelings and stuff. And being able to understand that like, oh yeah, these are I can work all day, I can look at my phone all day, but then this happens. And if I don't take care of it, then I'm gonna,
Yes.
you know what I mean? And I didn't always have that understanding. And
Yeah.
being able to understand my own reactions, emotions, maybe why things happen. Watching the new ADHD like reels where I never knew I had ADHD, like we said, right? And I was on the phone with my buddy, co-founder of Evergreen Foundations originally, Dave Layden Jr. And he goes, "Well, you know, you have ADHD, right?" I was like, "Nah, I mean, yeah, there's things there with me, but that's never been one." And he's like, "Dude, we've been on the phone for 20 minutes. You've changed topic 27 times. You put in laundry, didn't start the laundry, but you put it in. You started dinner, then you went and like decided to clean your shoe rack while you're on the phone with me. Like I've been watching you. We're on a video call. Like you have ADHD, like bad." And I was like, you know what? And then I kind of started looking at myself more and the habits and researching a little bit more and going, huh, you know what? Yeah, I do.
Sure do.
Yeah. Is that kind of how
Yeah.
your experience was?
Yeah, yeah, it was actually a friend of mine. So it was during like this period of like intensity while I was working on my bus because there was a 6 month time period where I quit everything. I quit work, I quit everything and just did the bus. And I would wake up and just go for like 10 hours straight. I was so strong. I was like jacked, dude. And I would like walk out there in my overalls and I'd get my DeWalt out, all my tools, get everything set. I mean, I was amazing. And I'd like pick up these plywood sheets and like walk around with them. And now now I'm so weak. It's only been a year and I'm like, I can't hold this pen, and I'm gonna have to get back out in there. So it's gonna be a total mess when I'm recording it all.
Oh,
But
that's the
anyway, the
best.
point is that while I was working on all that, or just maybe it was prior to it, whatever, my friend who she's lived in a bus for like 7 years or something. Her and her husband built it years ago. And I'm in a group chat with her and another friend who also lives in a bus full time. And so we're chit-chatting and they both have ADHD and one of them is AUDHD where it's like the autism ADHD kind of together. And so we're chit-chatting and they always joked about ADHD together. And I'm like, "Oh my God, yeah, I know, I get that too. That sometimes happens to me." And there was some day that I said that and Hillary's like, "Girl, like you do know that you have ADHD, right?" And I was like, "No, I don't have ADHD because I've kind of looked it up before thinking maybe I did and I don't think I do." And she's like, "You totally do. Like there's just not even a question about it." And I'm like, "Okay." And so like I went and looked and I like really started to research what that looks like.
Yeah.
Um, I'm also in perimenopause right now. I'm 44, turning 45 in a couple weeks. And, so I was attributing some of my like spacey brain to that, you know, but I think now that I look back at my life in general, I'm like, whew, there were so many times actually that like I, it's amazing that I masked the way that I did. And I realize also I spent a good portion of my life like with my nervous system on high alert for so long that I didn't even know it was on high alert. And that was why my cortisol was messed up. That's why my body was messed up. I was constantly in pain. Like there was always, and I just kept going through it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do, you know? And then I quit drinking. Oh, and then I quit
Oh, that's a
drinking.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
July last year, I had
Yeah. Yeah.
a traumatic thing happen. A whole thing happened, and I quit drinking same time as a bunch of other things that just kind of halted my life in a really rough way. And so I also realized after that that like my social my I used to be real social. I used to go out and like sit at a bar and have a couple beers. I was like the beer chick. I knew everything. I know everything about beer on all the different types. I've worked at many breweries and I'm like the beer chick. Um, and so I that was just a lifestyle that I was involved in, and I realized that I don't really have many friends that are,
Yeah.
like my solids who aren't the people who I'm just going to run into when I'm out and about like that, you know?
I
Um,
live in the drunkest state in the country. Like I know
yeah.
Florida's probably pretty damn comparable. Like
Well, I'm in St.
Wisconsin,
Augustine, and so St. Augustine's the
yeah,
same as what you were. Yeah, we're all drunk
Wisconsin,
here.
like that's all everybody does. Like you go to a kid's like weekend baseball game. That's all
Yeah.
the parents. That's what they're doing. That's what everybody's
Yeah.
doing. Go to the beach. Everyone's got coolers. You tell people you don't drink, and you're the weird one around here. It's like
Yeah.
so that's a tough adjustment. I ended up for the last almost 2 years now dating somebody that like doesn't drink either and was really like so our hobbies are foraging in the woods and like building
Awesome.
gardens and now we don't have to like I love that. There's times where people come over the other night, we're having a fire, someone's coming over, great conversation, but like he's doing the lean and I'm like, man, in parts of my head I'm looking at him and I'm talking to him and he's kind of the breath, you get it, he's drinking like vodka and stuff. I'm like, man, I don't miss this at all. Like that would have been me
No,
like a year ago. Like,
it was
uh,
me. Yeah.
yeah, and I would have been like all loud and at the party and like how to,
Yeah.
that would have and just probably drinking too much and like totally not understanding that I'm the guy like leaning in and out with conversations and kind of making the other person go, "Whoa, had enough yet, buddy?" Like, and I was that guy. So now to go, whew, man. But yeah, I went through the same thing. You lose friends, you got to move on. You got to like find
Yeah.
your little piece, right?
Yeah. And then the ADHD thing pops up. It blooms in some other way because then you have like there's a rejection sensitivity part that's part of
Yep.
ADHD. And so it made that like, oh my gosh, I don't get to see everybody anymore because everything that they're doing is involving drinking and I can't be around it right now.
Yeah.
Um, and so I just felt it's like you just automatically feel rejected. Well, that's not, nobody's rejecting me, it's just that I
Yeah.
can't be in that situation right now, and that's my
Yeah.
own thing. And then you also have like the social anxiety piece that when you're not drinking, and at least for me, and you're out and about, like it was so much easier to like have a beer, and by the end of that beer, I'm just like the social butterfly,
Yeah.
and then suddenly I'm more like backing away, like, all right, bye guys, like leaving the room somehow, to get away from everybody instead. So it really flipped everything around. And I think that it really highlighted my ADHD and showed me like just how awkward I feel in certain situations that I never felt awkward in before, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy. I'm the same way because I for years lived with like diagnoses of like bipolar, and I had a rough like when I found out my father committed suicide when I was
Oh,
like 13. I He was dead for a long time, like my whole life. When I was 1 years old, he passed away. But I didn't know how until I was like older. So that like kind of had a really it stunted my like emotional development, I think. And
yeah.
I like attached to diagnosis. So like my daughter, she knows like she has speech teachers, she has IEPs, we do things right, but we've never told her like, hey, you have autism, because for my whole life I like right grabbed on to diagnosis. And with ADHD, I didn't want to go like, oh no, now I know that I have it. Now I got to go to the doctor and I need a diagnosis. And I didn't really want to do that. I felt like I started to understand myself more. I understand started to go, oh, I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to feel ashamed for these behaviors or that I procrastinated this or whatever it may be. Like all the little things that kind of go up. I used to like put a lot of pressure on myself to not be that way. Or if it happened, oh, why did that happen? Now it's like, oh, okay, I know why that happened. How do I like pivot? Or how do I, if I need a leash to stay next to the dishwasher to finish the dishes, maybe that's what I do. Oh, no, it's just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, just
But
attach yourself to what you have to do physically.
I
Like,
seen this. I seen this in a reel. It was like the adult ADHD leash,
I have a
and
friend who did it. I have
yeah,
a
and they
friend
like
who
put it
literally
on the
did it.
dishwasher.
Yeah, literally did it. Yep, totally. And it's a thing. I mean, and it makes sense. Because yeah, so you get, you know what I call this though? I call it fluttering, and I let myself do this
Yeah.
sometimes. Like I don't let myself do it all the time. I still have to get my shit done, right? But I will sometimes, and I'll start out because I am a legal medical marijuana card carrier. So I will start out and I'll smoke a bowl and be like, "Pff, whatever happens, happens." And I'll start cleaning something, and then like I'll start making some food, and then I'll go out to the trailer and I'll start building something, and then I'll start cooking food again. I mean, it's like I'm everywhere and none of it gets done. And then by the end of the day, somehow everything got done, and it's all like perfect. And I'm like, "Pff, like, how did I even do all of that? It's crazy."
This is so hilarious because people, the family will come home and they're like, "Oh my God, like you got so much done today. Like with you working, like how did you do all of this? Like the dishes or picking up or the gardening and then the laundry and like and plus worked like and did a bunch of calls and stuff." And it's like, well, have you seen the process of those 50 things getting done? It's like
Yeah.
2% of that project at this time. On the way to the kitchen, I like do some quick. On the way back, oh, I picked this up. I'll like bring the dog out. So I'll grab the shovel and start doing a little bit of the garden while the dog's out. Then I come into the house and I'll do a little bit of the dishes. So by the time like 6, 7 o'clock comes around and everybody comes in the house, everything's done. I don't know how I did it, but everything's done. But it wouldn't look like that if you came in earlier in the day. You'd
No.
be like, what are you doing? You doing like 60
Like,
things
what
at
is wrong
once?
with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, I guess I kind of am.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. And while I was building the bus, it was the same way. It was really hard because there's a process, like certain things, like every single piece of wood. I mean, you see every single piece of framing, all of the 2x3s, all of those are double coated in primer. They all had to be cut, they all had to be primed, they all had to be all, so there's this process. And man, it was hard. It was hard some days to like, okay, I have to prime all of this, and because I can't put it up before I prime it, but all I want to do is put it up, and it's like, it
Yeah.
was hard to like focus in on the things. Um, but I think as entrepreneurs, this is why we own businesses, because to go to a regular 9 to 5 job and do that work, I mean, it takes every bit of energy. I can do it, but it takes every single bit of energy out of me, and by the time I get home, I'm miserable. I'm miserable.
I'll be like model employee for the first like I don't know 6 months, year,
Totally. Totally.
doing
Totally.
everything, being above and beyond, and then I get burnt out. It's the mundane, it's the energy. It's just I'm not. I didn't believe in it. I did a lot of 9 to 5s, a lot of typical love. There was things I was really good at. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay entertained, right? And I never knew
Yeah.
what that was. Now as we're talking about this, I know what it was, but I not because now. I just thrive in this environment, even if it's sometimes, as you know, being an entrepreneur, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's
No.
scary. I put myself my back against the wall the last 3.5
Yeah.
years to really believe in myself. I'm glad I have, but it was a lot, and there's times where it's like, oh, did I make the right decision? I probably should have gave the first year and a half. I probably should have quit like 50 times. I'm so glad I didn't, and I'm so glad that I kept up with it. But like, it's not a glamorous thing, but I love that part of it, and I love every other part of it, like the connecting with people, the networking, the working
Yeah.
with people, the being a content creator, marketer, email lister, community runner. Like I thrive in having like all these roles. I know I can't. I haven't been able to sustain that. Nobody can. You need help. You need a team. You need
Yeah.
AI, if it will, to like make things easier. But I think having every role, building this, doing it awful, learning and getting better, getting pretty darn good at some of it, still doing some of it awful, but staying consistent. I think that has turned me into um, an entrepreneur that will never give up because that understands every step because I thrive knowing all those things. Where
Yeah.
before I wouldn't like want to at any of my day jobs, like learn how to do more or want more and more. I just kind of did it because I had to.
Yeah. I mean, I did have some jobs that were fun. And like you said, like for the first little bit, it's easy to just like go hard, and like do the thing and be like the model, whatever. I was always teacher's pet. I was always, the straight A student, because that was just how I operated. I could do 7,000 things at once and do them pretty well. Um, and now, you know, I think about getting a 9 to 5 job all the time. I'm back. I circle through this. It's like feast and famine, right? And when I'm in the famine mode, I'm just like, okay, I spend 10 hours a day doing blah 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 blah. Like instead, I wouldn't have to go find leads. I wouldn't have to go find my clients. I wouldn't have to go do this. I wouldn't have to batch social media marketing 6 days every single week. I wouldn't have to, and I think about these things and I'm like, imagine the time I would save if all I had to do was just go to work from 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like, think about how much time we spend in our businesses, and it's way more than 9 to 5, right? Um, and so I think about it. And last year, I spent a solid 7 months applying for work. 7 months, like it was my full-time job, because that's what it takes. I don't even know how many jobs I applied to. I had spreadsheets, I had all of that, and I would follow up, I would do all the things. And then there was one of the sites that I was on, and it tells you how many people applied to the same job that you applied to. And that's when I realized this is not going to work. Because the jobs that I was applying to, I was applying to stuff that was like COO level to like operations director and project manager, and I was though that was kind of the level I was applying to. So were like 250 other people, every single one of those jobs. And I'm like, these no human is even seeing my cover letter or my resume that I just spent time like adapting to that particular job. Like, hey, look, these are the things that you're asking for, and these are the things I know how to do really well, and this is why I know how to do. They weren't, nobody was reading that. You know what was reading that? AI,
Yep.
and giving them like five out of those 200. Like, nobody was reading those. And so, you know how many interviews I got? Probably 100 applications, well thought out applications I put in. I got zero. I got zero.
You know
And
what the job's going to be? Your squirrel pivot. You know what the jobs are going to be in the future? The person that builds that AI agent that does that, the person that has a team of
that's
those
it.
AI agents that go through and look for employees for companies and stuff. And
Yeah,
that's just kind of the way it's going. I
it
went through
is.
a deep dive with AI the other day. Like, well, I say the other day, I'm sorry, like 2 weeks ago. Um,
It's the
and
other day. It's some other day.
yeah, and I was kind of like looking, AI is moving so fast right now. It's going to replace a lot of jobs. Like in the last 2 weeks, months,
Already it's replaced a lot of
it's
jobs.
moved so fast.
I'm an
And it's
operations person. Think about like most of the jobs that I would be applying for have been mostly replaced by AI.
so I told it to look at like the greater scope of when everything is going to kind of happen and what like the pivot's going to be for people. And
Yeah.
it said, it flat out honest was it was the answer would have been like 28, like 2028 to 2030, that like AI was going to take over tons, like 75% of jobs. Now it's looking like late 2026, which is now because it's happening so fast. And it said that,
Oops.
long story short, the jobs that are really going to thrive that AI can't replace, consultants, coaches, humans, communities, people banding together because they want
Yeah.
to be close with people that um, are of like-minded, right? So like
Yeah.
that gave me hope for what we're doing. It gave me hope
Yeah.
for the personal connection industry as a whole. AI
Yeah.
can't really look you in the eye and understand where you're at and stuff.
No,
Um, but our it's definitely going to change. We're I mean the world we know is not going to be the same, and
it's
it's
not.
we're all going to have to pivot. Every single human being, and those that don't are going to be in trouble. Right now, I see it all the time. Business owners going, "Oh, that's AI slop," and if I see an AI image, I run from the business, and if I see AI those people in 3 years won't have businesses because they're not learning AI the way that they
Yeah.
need to learn AI.
I hate that that's true.
I
I
know.
hate that that's true.
I
I
do
can't.
too.
I mean, last year I was using Chat GPT very surface level to help me like rewrite some of my cover letters, but then I'd go back in and then I'd like re-edit the whole thing
Yeah.
because I didn't know how to use AI at that point and I didn't want to. I was just doing it because I'm like, I kind of have to because there's no way I can do this amount of work by myself. I can't literally write
Exactly.
copy for 100 different letters on top of finding all of these jobs, vetting all of these jobs, looking up all the companies, figuring out how I would fit in each one. I mean, it was literally a full-time job for 7 months. Like I say 7 months. I was about 7 months actually. Um, and like not doable. I
Take,
don't remember what I was starting out at, but yeah.
take the coaching industry,
Lost
for
train of
example.
thought.
Like, friggin' 3 months
Right.
ago, this wouldn't have been the case, but now it is, where a coach, consultant, anyone in our position, right? They can go, I'm going to create a lead magnet for my new lead generation. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go on Canva or whatever it may be. I'm going to sit down and think of an idea that I can make so my people can come through and kind of like tell me a little bit about themselves, whatever. And they don't have any AI experience. That might take them a little bit. I
That's
can
gonna
make
take weeks.
weeks. I
Like,
can I,
period.
I can do it in 3 minutes and get it out on the internet in 15 minutes now with
Now,
Claude Code. Like, it's insane.
what
Like,
I will say though is there's still a difference between like AI generated stuff that's like real quick AI, you throw it out there, and the AI generated stuff that like, when once you have a clone or you have like the AI ecosystem built around your work, once you have that, then yeah, things are pretty quick. And even then, you could still go down rabbit holes. I still go down them, because I want to perfect the thing it
yeah,
creates. But the reality is, once you have like a solid AI ecosystem around things, which that's really
didn't
something that I'm
understand that until
offering.
recently.
I'm just starting to offer this. Like I just sent out a proposal like a week and a half ago to someone, and that was part of it. It was like, look, if we work together, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to work with you to set up your AI ecosystem so that way no matter even a year down the road, they know how to fix their ecosystem. They know how to set up the projects and what way to work with their chats inside of the projects so that the they're not using too many tokens and they don't run out of usage. And also so that the right things are talking to the right things without blowing your usage too. And so that way the things that people create are exactly what they want without them having to have these page-long prompts.
Yeah,
They're already I talk to my Claude. I mean, I today I cussed it out. Today I literally
I go
cussed
back
it
and
out. I
forth.
was like, that is some AI sounding bullshit, and I'm not okay with it. Like, what is this output? And it's like, you're right, my bad, I'm sorry. And I'm like, yeah, see, like, because I knows I have the ecosystem set up well enough for it.
You're so right. I honestly, a month and a half, 2 months ago now, I was just ChatGPT and did it for premium. I've been paying for premium for a couple of years. I use it for my business. It was my whole ecosystem was ChatGPT. I had projects, I had everything. And I didn't really understand more. I was like, well, I'm happy here. And then I decided to go to Gemini. And I went to Gemini, or like just try it out. I went to Gemini, but I already had like Google so much on Google, like for everything, Drive and everything that I was doing. The minute that I integrated all of that and then built a brain, built a project for foundations, for my community building business aspect, for my nutrition coaching stuff, like man, my ecosystem is nuts now. Like 2 months ago, I would have just did GPT. Like I said, now I'll go to Gemini, ask where I should go with with whatever I'm doing in that moment, usually. And now I kind of know where. But like I'm coding in Claude, doing images, and like GPT is getting a little bit better for certain things. I'm over in Perplexity to make it more
Yeah.
humanized when I want to really write. Like I have like 6 things now right in a screen and I know where to go for what. And sometimes where I would have just been like, okay, thanks, ChatGPT. Carl, I used to call ChatGPT. Um, Garth is
Carl.
Gemini. Um, I would like be like, thanks. Now I run it through like four different things before I'm like done with it. And
Yeah,
if you utilize AI like that, you can get work that is you, unique, converts,
totally.
whatever you need. And
Totally.
I think that aspect of it is awesome. I also think like looking at everything that's happening with it, it's a little scary AF. Like holy shit, we're
Totally scary.
like Terminator, Skynet, fucking Matrix, like shit. Like it's scary.
Yeah, it's totally scary. And the thing I don't like about it, here's the thing. What I don't like about it is when there isn't like a disclaimer, and we see it with like bots, you see like the AI agents, doing stuff, especially even on the Skool platform. And the thing I don't like is when I'm having a conversation with something and I say something because then I realize I'm like, damn it, I've been talking to a bot. Like I've been doing this back and forth with this thing that's not even a human. I'm an idiot, but like ultimately I'm not because those things are so smart.
Wait till the day you're doing it in person and you can't even tell. And you don't even know, right? Like they're the humanoid freaking robots. That's
Yeah,
gonna be the worst part.
that's going to be wild. I think that's going to happen I think that's a real thing that's going to happen during our lifetime and I'm already old, man.
We literally live in a time where yesterday on the news, the headline was Southwest Airlines now made it illegal for humanoid robots to get tickets. Like that's the world we live in. Like this stuff is happening. Like this guy brought this humanoid robot, like wherever Southwest Airlines got him a ticket. People like there's a video, people like the flight attendants and stuff are like, what the hell? Like, there's a robot walking by him, sits down, the guy buckles him up, and then that video went viral. And then Southwest was like, you know what? We're not going to let robots on our airplanes anymore right now. Like that's the world we live in. Like,
No
and
shit. I think
fast.
that's a terrible idea. How do you even get one of those things through security?
Because there's no policy now. Right now, it's electronic or whatever. Like right now, there was like no policy really. Probably now that
Dude, I
changed. Now that
I gotta
people
take
get
off my damn shoes to go through security, and
this
the
guy just what the
robot can
fuck?
go through like a whole robot?
Yeah, it's
What?
a viral. The video's viral. Type up like robot in the airport. It'll come up. It just popped up like 48 hours ago or something. It's wild. Like
That
this
is
is
nuts.
you
That
got
is
them getting
nuts.
hit by trucks in New York and stuff. Like they're doing the delivery robots where you order a pizza and now it's like bringing it to your house in this freaking robot. And like the other day I seen a video, one got hit by a car, gets hit by a car, the car backs up and leaves, and this robot put like a heart in its eyes and then just kept driving with a busted up wheel. It's like this is where we're going. This is our reality right now.
Did you see there I can't remember the name of these cars. I think it starts with a W or something. But there was some like suburbia neighborhood where like somehow all these like I don't know if they're delivery cars or they're like some kind of like passenger whatever, but they're just AI or robot cars. And somehow they all got like routed to this neighborhood and all it shows is like 50 of these things on this like cul-de-sac and they're all like stuck and they can't get around each other and it's just in a neighborhood and people are like what is this like and they were just there like there's no
Yeah.
humans in them like
Other countries and stuff, they're way more prominent. Like I haven't freaking seen any, but like they're way more prominent. I seen a video the other day where in like Sweden, Norway, somewhere over there in that neck of the Scandinavian woods, I think there was one like chasing a bear away from a business, like running after it, like all robot like running after a wild animal. And it's like, what is going on? Like if I start getting chased by robots, that might be. There's a comedian Jeff Dye, and he has a joke about God takes you off of this universe when you can't handle anymore. And like his grandpa had to go when there was like inter mixed rate relationships and stuff because he was just too rude outside. And he's like, grandpa couldn't handle that. And
God took him
I
out.
Yeah, it freaked him out too much. Like there's certain things that you like the older generations they can't handle, and I am feeling like I'm gonna be one of those people. I'm not gonna be able to handle like robots running around and all this. I'm done. I think my
Especially if we don't even know if they're like, well, I feel like we'll know. But then here we are. I mean, 20 years ago, if you'd have told me, I mean, 20 years ago, still had those Nokia phones. Maybe not. That was like 25 years ago.
yeah, 25. I
Yeah.
graduated in '04, which
We
is like
had
21 years
Blackberries.
ago.
We had
We had
Blackberries
Blackberries.
20 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah. With
you
the
know I
whole
never
like
had one of those.
keyboard. Did
Never
I
I
have
never had a
one?
Blackboard.
Oh,
I
I
never did.
totally had
Oh
one.
yeah, I
Yeah.
had some. I had Razor. I like the Razor
Oh,
phones.
yeah. I remember those. Those
I
and
had.
Nextel with the beep beep. Yeah.
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 Oh, we're dating ourselves. Well, hey, when we don't have guests, this is fun. I think we should do episodes like this more often, where
Yeah.
we just no topic, man. We just talk. This was a lot of fun. Evelyn, thanks for joining us. This is cool. I
Yeah.
will get this up on YouTube and stuff. Now that we're on Zoom, I think it's a lot easier to do that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
Um, Next week, I believe we have a guest that we will bring in. I think it's the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Um, Look for us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Thanks, Christina. That was a lot of fun just to kind of
That
like
was
shoot the
fun.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm Brandon Decremer from Evergreen Foundations.
And I'm Christina Joy from Chaos to Clarity Lab.
Thanks for joining us on the Evolution Podcast today, guys, and look forward to what episodes every Wednesday. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.